Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm pleased to introduce one of the coolest people that I've come across on Instagram. Her purple, pretty hair intrigued us, but her quality content made us stay. That's Satshya Chechi, our very own ACJ alumnus, who will talk to us today about content creation and innovative ways to use Instagram. Hello, and welcome, Satshya.
Thanks, Khadija. Thank you so much for having me and that lovely intro as well, and for calling me Satcha Chichi. I really appreciate it.
Reference. Okay, so you were formerly a journalist who then transitioned to being a social media content creator. So, could you tell us a little bit about how that transition happened and why the shift?
So the transition happened very organically for me. I was growing as a content creator at the same time that I was a producer with a media company, but I kept it very much on the down low because I didn't want to mix my work life with sort of my personal life. But then around that time, I got an opportunity to work at an edtech firm, at an edtech startup. So I was like, why not? It's an opportunity for me to learn something new, to be a part of a new field as such. And so I took up the opportunity and I left journalism. And it's been a great blessing actually, because not only do I have more flexibility in terms of the time that I have to create content, but also just being in a public space, I think is easier when you're working in a sector that's not journalism because you have your company to think of, like you don't want it to reflect badly in any way on your company and in terms of like that. But otherwise, I think it's been going good so far. I've been able to manage both my day job and content creation well. And recently, we started this volunteer effort in Mangalore as well to help with COVID efforts. So it's like I'm working three jobs, but all three are things that I really enjoy, and they are different. They satisfy different interests that I have. So it's been going really well so far. Yeah.
So, practically everyone that we know is on Instagram now, and but yet so many of us struggle to get reach or followers, so to speak. So, how does one increase their followers?
I think there's three main factors that play into how you grow on Instagram. I think the main thing is having a USP. So, like you mentioned, that almost everyone is on Instagram right now, right? So, how do you stand out as a content creator? For me, it was the Hacks to Learn series because I hadn't seen anything like it. And people were like, oh, this is fun, like make more of it. And I was like, okay. And I just went along with it that's how it grew. And then I was able to branch out and try new things and build IPs along the way. And so, if you're looking to be a content creator and becoming successful on Instagram, you have to do something that's different from what everybody else is doing. Like, I mean, if you're into fashion, it's not just going to be enough for you to do the transition of different outfits because everybody's doing that, right? Like, me as a follower, what value would I get if I'm following you? And it's something that I already follow someone else for. So it has to be something innovative. And I think comedy is a great way to connect people and reach out to people because, especially in these times, you're just looking for an escape. A lot of people are on Instagram just scrolling through. So if someone makes them laugh, then you're like, okay, I'm following this person. So, first thing is make sure you have a USP. Second thing is consistency, because once you start getting a little bit of popularity and traction on social media, it's very important to keep posting because um, there are a lot of people I've seen who have like one viral video which has gone like to 1 million views, and after that they don't post anything. And so even as a follower, I'm like, why am I following this person, right? Like, I'm not getting any value from it. uh, the other thing is, if someone becomes super viral, then they do the same kind of content over and over again to the point where it gets boring or repetitive. And so then again, I'm like, it's boring now. So it's not just about keeping your audience happy. Even you as a creator, you have to think about what you like and what you enjoy, which comes to the third part of authenticity, right? You have to do things that you enjoy. And when you enjoy it, others will enjoy it. There could be times where you think something's a really great idea, but it just doesn't land, or it just people don't find it as funny, and that's fine. It's like a learning block. I've had so many videos that I thought, oh my god, this is amazing, and it didn't perform well. And there were some videos I was like, it's okay, I mean, it's just a random thing I'm trying out, which became like really popular. So it's all about keep trying, keeping at it, and keeping like posting, if it's photos, do photos or videos or whatever, but you have to keep doing it. And that way you build an audience also, because say for example you're posting every alternate day, then your audience also learns to expect that, okay, every alternate day she's going to put out a video, I'm going to wait for it at 6 p.m, maybe 4 p.m, 10 a.m, whatever. But if they keep seeing your face and seeing your content, they develop a relationship, they become familiar with it, and that's how you can grow and also build a great community along the way as well.
That is some really good advice and tips that we can all use. And I don't think like your content is ever boring or banal, like by any definition, because you've always experimented with hair colors and recipes and hacks and all of these things. So you inspire us to try new things. So along that line, could you also tell us what inspires you and what drives you?
I think, like you mentioned, right? It's exactly that. I have a motto which is try one new thing every day. And this is something that I've held on to since I was in ACJ and even in college, which is A, try one new thing every day, and B, try one thing that scares you. Because that's the only way you learn, and that's the only way you can get better. And what's the worst that could happen, right? It's, say, for example, it's trying, maybe if you're an average dancer, you want to put out a video on Instagram, you put it out and it's not that great. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Someone would say, oh, what is this dancing so bad? That's it. But for you, it's a personal achievement because you've gone through that process of practicing. You filmed it, maybe you've edited it, maybe we've thought about the caption, the hashtag. Like for you, every single thing that you do is going to add to your personal growth. So you have to keep trying new things. You cannot get stuck in that thing of, okay, this works, because you see that with creators on YouTube as well, right? Those have been really popular at one point of time, but they've never grown with their audience. So they've been stuck and they have not grown. I mean, like, for example, there are so many creators, I don't want to take names, but you know yourself, right? People who you found very funny, but when you watch them now, you're like, "Mm, it's not that funny." So as a creator, you yourself have to evolve and grow. And that's when your audience also will learn along with you, because that's the main thing about is social media, right? You want to be entertained and you want to learn something along the way. So if you're able to tick those two boxes, both for your audience and for yourself, then it's like a win-win.
What pieces of advice or what top pointers would you give to budding content creators out there?
I think everyone wants to be a content creator mainly because they want money, and they think that it's like an easy way to earn money, which is true in a way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you get into content creation with the main intent of, okay, I want to earn some money from this, it's going to be a very uphill task. Because I know there are a lot of people who buy followers, but brands will not pay you any money because they can easily run softwares and see that you're bought followers. They see that your engagement rate is low. If you're starting out as a content creator, you're until maybe you hit 10,000, all you have to think about is how you build your personal brand and how you build your content. Once you get that sorted, then you don't have to reach out to brands and be like, hey, please collaborate with me. People will come to you because they see you have a body of work. They see what you're capable of. They see the kind of relationship with you have with your audience, and then they will come to you. A lot of times, like, that's the main question I get, like, how many followers do I need before I can start making money? Like, this is not YouTube, right? It doesn't operate on the number of views that you have. So it's very important, if you want to grow on Instagram, focus on your content. It's a, I mean, this phrase has been used done to death, but it still holds very true. Content is king no matter what. So even if it's someone that you really admire and look up to, but if your content consistently is bad, not interesting, it's copied, it's boring, it's something you've seen before, even you as an audience, you wouldn't like it, right? And you wouldn't want to support them anymore.
So add value to yourself and then the followers will come automatically.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have to do it, because you, or do things that you enjoy doing. Like, I'm a terrible dancer, so it wouldn't make, even though I see like dancing reels are doing really well, it wouldn't make sense for me to make a dancing reel. Like, I would go nowhere with it. So you have to play to your strengths. And there are some people who, I mean, like artists or even people who grow plants. Like, I follow a lot of plant pages. It's something as simple and as banal as growing a planting video of your plants that some people really enjoy. So if you enjoy it, you will do your best to make sure it's top quality content because you yourself are interested in it. and then people will come and follow you, and it's a great journey going on from there.
Yeah. So there is always an audience. You just have to find your niche. Yeah.
Yeah, and stick to it.
Nice. And finally, that brings us to our last question, which is what are the more innovative, creative, and out of the box ways that one can use Instagram?
I think right now the best way to use Instagram is to use Reels. I see a lot of small businesses really blow up because they've used Reels the right way. Because that's the thing. I mean, even when you use Instagram, you see the Reels tab open up. You have a separate thing at the bottom to let you access Reels. It's quick, it's fast, grabs a lot of eyeballs. So if the smartest way to grow on Instagram right now is to use Reels. Another thing you have to understand is how each platform within Instagram works. So say maybe like, a post is different from a reel, is different from an IGTV. Like for example, I use IGTV only for my food videos, reels only for my hacks to learn my other IPs, my posts only for some random like hair pictures and stuff like that. So I segregate my content in that sense, and I plan it out because I know that this content works best for this platform. So I think you have to really take a look at Instagram and see what works for you in terms of the content you want to put out. um, that would be the smart way. Innovative, I mean, the best inspiration is on social media itself. Like, even if you think you're wasting a lot of time just scrolling on Instagram, you're not, because you never know when that light bulb moment is going to hit you, where you're watching some reel and you're like, hey, I could do it this way. So maybe there are a lot of people who have taken on trends and done like anti trends, and they do a twist on it and they become super popular. So take every idea that you get along the way, make sure you build on it. Think of it as, look, is this something that if I were watching it, would I find it interesting, entertaining? How can I make it better? Like, there are some ideas that I have that I know the punchline of the joke, or I know the starting of the joke, and it takes me a couple of days maybe to figure out the rest of it, and I flesh it out, and then I put it out. So it's very much like being in a professional workspace where you pitch an idea, but you're pitching it to yourself. You pitch an idea, and then you look at all the ways that you can flesh it out properly, and sometimes it even comes to that part where you're almost done with it, but as you watch it, something telling you in the back of your head there's something wrong with it. Don't put it out yet. So you have to trust yourself enough to trash something that you worked really hard on, because you set the quality for yourself, right? There's nobody telling you that. I mean, your audience will tell you, oh, this is crap, this is great, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to look at your own content and look at it as your deeply personal body of work that reflects you and who you are. So if that doesn't meet your standards, please don't put it out, because if you don't enjoy it, then others aren't going to enjoy it either. But there are some things that you personally do enjoy a lot. You just put it out. It's fine. It's fine.
So the key is to always keep experimenting.
Definitely do things that you enjoy doing, you find interesting, or if it's something that you want to learn, go for it. And very important is, I heard this phrase recently, is don't let compliments go to your head and criticism go to your heart, which is so important as a content creator, because everyone wants the fame and the popularity, but no one wants to, or no one knows how to deal with the criticism that comes along the way, right? Because I guess as followers, you would only see my content once a day. You might see some people being rude in the comment section, and then you go on to see other creators. But for creators themselves, like, this is so personal because this is a part of me I've put out. So when you have like 50 comments telling you that this is so bad, you're so bad, you have people in the DMs who have taken the time to write long paragraphs on how you suck, and things like that. It's very difficult not to take it personally, but you have to understand it's a part of what you do. And I think the best, coming back to your question of what advice I would have for budding content creators, is the block button is your best friend. Don't feel obliged to reply to everyone. I reply only if it's constructive criticism and I thank the person. I'm like, okay, that's actually a good idea. Thank you. But if it's just someone trolling, like, oh, you're tutty or this, I'm like, okay. I mean, sometimes I let it go. I find it funny. But if it's really rude, I just block them.
Block, mute, and unfriend are your three best friends.
Yeah, I just block them. I don't even mute them because I don't follow them.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, there are some people that I follow
Mhm.
who just especially during Corona, when I saw them partying and stuff like that, I was so annoyed. But I couldn't unfollow them because either I know them personally or I have a professional relationship with them. So then I just mute them. And then there's peace of mind. Like you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, have a good time on social media. I think this is the golden era to be a part of it, because you don't know what technology is going to come next, right? And you want to be able to adapt and not feel like you've missed out on an opportunity. Social media is a great place and a great platform if you a know how to use it well, and b if you know how to handle it well. So once these are two things that you learn along the way. So once you get a hang of it, then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And so is this COVID support work that you're doing. That's also really nice. And
Thank you.
yeah, would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
About the COVID volunteer work that we do. So basically, Mangalore is a small city. So we hadn't seen as many COVID cases as compared to the bigger cities like Delhi and Bombay. But that also got us to thinking that, what are we going to do if something like this happens in Mangalore? How can we be prepared? So that's why we thought of setting up this thing called Kudla COVID Volunteers. I set it up with two other women called Vaishnavi Pavitran and Masha Rabi. So all three of us have completely three different skill sets, which has been really great to build this thing out. And then we got almost immediately 6 volunteers, again in completely different fields, who have so lovingly and so generously donated their time and resources to making sure that we get all this information out. So basically, our plan was to build out a database instead of waiting for people to say, "Hey, how can I get a hospital bed?" or "Hey, where can I get oxygen?" We saw what all the requests were coming in from all these other cities. So we built a database of where you can get oxygen in Mangalore, plasma, hospital beds. We've expanded to now food services, RT-PCR home tests, so a bunch of things like that. So it's been really nice to see how we can use social media to sort of give back to society. And it's also great because otherwise it's a very selfish platform where you're only about me, myself, my profile, how do I grow myself and stuff like that. So it's been really nice to see how you can use social media to reach out to a large number of people. And it's been good. We've had a few requests coming in, and when we open the request to when we close it and say, okay, they've received help, it's done. It's such a great feeling, and it's really nice to be a part of an organization like that. It's also been good to see a lot of sister organizations like this one in Udupi, which is a city close to Mangalore, uh, and see how they are working. So I think, again, like, I'm learning so much along the way of how to mobilize a group of citizens, how to work with each other, how to work with the authorities, just see the how policymakers work upfront, see maybe flaws in the system, see what things are working. And I think that's a really good opportunity for students as well to be a part of, especially if you're looking to work in the civil services. So to be involved in some organization like this or a movement like this, I think it's really nice. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of free time, and it's been great to see that they're using it for the better now.
It is certainly heartwarming to see, and I feel like a lot more people should know about this. And I'll do my best to scream it from the hilltops and tell everyone in Mangalore and Chennai and everywhere else about it. And
Thank you so much.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you, Satya, for coming on our show. And this has been really informative and fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you. And I hope the rest of your studies go on well. And
Yeah.
yes, can you see the t-shirt I'm wearing? I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see it. It
Please.
says you only
Only
ACJ
ACJ
once.
once. that that was so fun to watch. That will be my cover of the interview.
I'll send you a better picture, right?
Thank you so much once again, Satya.